Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why younger women date older men. So I've got a couple friends you may recognize, obviously Dr. Dominick D'Anna of BeSimplyWell.com.
Yep. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. And his lovely assistant, Ashley.
His assistant.
The assistant in what exactly?
We're going to get into that. We'll get into that a little bit later. So Ashley does body connection in Dominick's office. So if you've ever been worked on and had network chiropractic care, you want to explain what body connection is and how it facilitates what Dominick does?
Sure.
Before we get into the main topic, because I know people are going, what's going on? What's all this
The
about?
important stuff.
Yeah, the important stuff.
Yeah, so body connection is just becoming aware of your body, more aware of your body, and then we work you up through the 12 stages of healing to work through stuck stress and tension in your body, and it helps maintain what he does, so it's good stuff.
Good stuff.
And you do, what else? You do health coaching?
Yes, holistic health coaching and body work.
And so what does the holistic health coaching entail?
So I do more specifically Ayurveda focused. So I do the Ayurvedic consultation where we figure out what your dosha is, what your mind-body constitution is, and then from there you can more consciously choose things that are healthier and more harmonious for you and for your life.
And it's like diet-based, right? When you say choose things, you're talking about diet and...
Yeah, well, it's everything. It's diet, lifestyle.
Yay!
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
So obviously we'll get to the topic of why do younger women, in other words, what's appealing to you about dating an older guy as a woman? What do you find attractive in men versus dating guys your own age?
Well, when I started dating him, I didn't really know what I wanted. So I wasn't really looking for anything specific, but he made me feel very safe and comfortable, which I don't think a lot of younger guys can do when they're younger, because he's a dad already, and
It's the dad thing.
it's the dad thing.
Providing safety.
Yeah, but I felt very safe,
Yeah.
very supported, and that was the big thing that I noticed and big thing that felt good.
So what does Dominick do that's different than guys you're, because I heard about a date that you had with another guy. He wanted you to pay 50% or something like that.
Well, yeah.
Tell us some shit like that, like what
Okay,
you
so-
experience when you go out on dates and you're going,
Pay attention to this one.
Pay attention, fellas.
Okay, so us women will generally offer to pay because that's polite. But if you do not say, no, I got this, then it's kind of like...
So it's a test.
It is. Well, for me, it's a test.
It's
Yeah.
all a test.
It's a test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's offering, but listen to what she's saying. Yeah, she don't want to pay. She wants the man to stand up and say, no, I got this.
Yeah.
He wants to, he's the head honcho. He's the provider. He can take care of it. Yeah. And then there's more. It's not just that, right? There's other...
The car door thing?
The car door thing, or walking you through your car.
Yeah, walking
or,
to... Well, I think the thing is that I just wanted to feel like they were being masculine. They were being the man.
Being the leader?
Yeah, being the leader.
Leading the interaction?
Yeah. And so, especially also if they're like talking the entire time, and you're just sitting there listening, it's not attractive. So
you've gone on dates, obviously, when
that
guys,
was
they
the
talk
same
the whole
date. It
time.
was the whole
Oh, it's
thing.
the same dude?
Yeah, he was just talking the whole time. I offered to pay. We didn't even
And you
get
did.
food. We just got
Yeah.
wine. And yeah, I paid my half. Or I paid for mine. It wasn't even half. I paid for my wine. He paid for his drinks. And then
And he picked
started,
you up or no?
Nope, I met him there.
I met him there.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that's a theme, though, with younger men, where they don't necessarily step up to the plate? Or would you say it really doesn't have much to do with age, just some guys show up and some don't?
Yeah, I would say that. I don't think it necessarily has to do so much with age. Just some men are being men and some aren't.
Okay, right on. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
So at any age, somebody can show up and be strong and be grounded and be present and do.
Yeah, and there are some
And
older
listen.
men who don't do that. Who would do the same thing as this younger guy did, so. Because they didn't watch Corey's stuff yet,
Obviously.
obviously.
So what? So as a woman, when you go on a date with a guy and he just talks and talks and talks and never asks you anything, what is that? How does that make you feel?
I still sometimes enjoy it if they're interesting. I like to hear about them. But then afterwards, I'm not really interested in taking it any further.
And why is that?
I don't really know.
So it's more attractive to you if a guy is asking you questions and wanting to know what you're all about versus giving you his pedigree and
Well,
his
it's
credit
more
history and his blood type and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's more attractive if it's like a two-way street where we're just both connecting and asking each other questions. But if it's just all me asking them questions, it's not. Yeah. It's like, all right, bye.
So you get turned off. In other words, does it make you feel like he's not interested in who you are if he doesn't even ask you one question about yourself?
Yeah,
Do you feel like
it
he's being
does.
selfish?
Not really selfish, but it doesn't seem like it kind of, to me, doesn't seem like he's ready to even move this into a relationship. If he's just all about himself, I'm like, you're not ready to connect with anyone, so.
So that's what you
So
should
that's-
expect.
that's
This
it.
was telling you this is what it's likely going to be 3 months
Yeah,
in, 6
moving
months
on.
in. This guy talking about himself the whole time
Yeah.
and not that interested in me.
Yeah, they have to be interested in me.
They have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right out of Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. You got, and I talk about this extensively in my first book, 3% Man, which obviously you can read for free on my website, understandingrelationships.com. All you do is subscribe to the email newsletter. It's like, because making other people feel comfortable and like you actually are sincerely interested in who they are, you're going to ask questions. You're going to be curious. You're going to want to know. You run into a girl like Ashley in the street, you're going to want to know what she's all about.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be curious. You're going to be if you like her, you're going to be excited and want to know that. But if a guy is more selfish or narcissistic, or he feels like he's got to prove himself to a woman, then he's going to talk and
Yeah.
talk and talk and talk because he's thinking, I hope she likes me. Well, typically, most of the time, if you're on a date, well, obviously she likes you enough to go on a date. Most women, there are women who'll go on a date just because it's better than sitting at home looking at the four walls, but most women go on a date because they already like you. So if they're there with you, the chances are they like you, and the goal is not to talk them out of liking you, especially talking too much.
Mm-hmm. I do notice that a lot with them trying to like
Prove themselves?
prove themselves. Yeah, and that's very unattractive because
He's trying to make up for something he feels like he lacks inside.
yeah, which is not attractive.
And it reeks of
So-
insecurity.
It does. So
And then you start thinking he's a little bitch.
not that specifically, but
We're thinking that.
yeah.
Ashley's being nice about it.
She's being more diplomatic.
Yeah.
I'm the one with the potty mouth, obviously.
Mhm.
But turn the camera off and she talks like a truck driver. What else? Tell us what else you see, like when you go out with dates, guys your age.
I don't go
around
on
that.
that many dates, but what else I see?
Yeah, what do you see? What are the things they do that turn you off versus that you don't see older men doing?
Well, so I mean the major things are saying yes to me offering to pay the bill, not walking me to my car. I also went on a date and it felt like right as I got there he wasn't interested, and I was like, you're the one that asked me out, so why? I'm confused. Do you not want to be here?
What did
So-
he do that made you feel like he wasn't interested?
The way he greeted me, he was like, oh hey.
So was he trying to be cool? Did it come across like he was just trying to be cool and it's like, I'm
Like
all
he
that?
wasn't interested?
Or was it that he was like, oh, wow, she's 300 pounds. You know, there's
I'm
different
pretty,
fields
though.
of it. You are pretty. That's why I'm saying, was it?
No, it was more. No, it just seemed like he didn't want to be there. And then as he would like ask me questions just because he like kind of, you know, that's what you do on dates, ask the girl questions. And then I would be telling him and talking, and he didn't really seem like he was listening to me. So the whole entire time, it felt like he wasn't interested, and I was just like, okay,
So he wasn't really listening.
right.
So he, in other words, you didn't feel like he was sincerely listening and caring.
Yes.
He was going through the motions.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
we
You have to be
so
authentic.
now I'm interested here. So was this guy like? Was it like Brad Pitt showed up and he was like, "Oh, she's okay. She's
I mean,
but
he
I'm
was-
used to up here," or was he like he was normal? He wasn't like over the top, good looking or anything. Was he like just an average Joe?
If we had to scale him between like 1 and 10, I'd
Yeah.
say he's like a 7, 8.
So he's all right, but he wasn't like Brad
He
Pitt
wasn't like
walked
Brad
up.
Pitt. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Not as handsome and charming as myself, of course.
Yeah. Hey.
Or you.
Yeah. There we go. Fix the eyebrow. Step it up.
So what's the age difference between you guys?
25 years.
So yeah, 25.
So you're 25 and Big Dom hit the big...
Almost 50.
Almost
Almost
50.
Almost in April.
Almost
so.
So I'm
50.
a few months
And
older
Ashley
than
and
you.
I were exclusive until recently, so that's where the dating came in. Not that there's any, open relationship. No, it's a closed relationship, but just recently. And
Oh,
what's
right,
what's
yeah.
interesting about our relationship too is that we have an adult relationship, and what that means is that I don't own her, she doesn't own me. We don't tell each other what to do. We just love each other and support each other. And now we're at a point in our relationship after 2.5 years or a little more, where we just want to go in different directions. But I think the world of her, and I love Ashley, and I feel it's totally mutual. So we're actually, we're each
Yeah.
other's biggest supporters. So, and when
If
I
you
put when I put my information on Hinge, Ashley's actually going to help me out. So if there's
I
any
already
women
did
out there
help
looking
him
at
out.
this, check me out. I might still be available.
It's like people, over the years give me shit because like when I split up with my ex-wife, I was setting her up with friends of mine and people thought I was out of my fucking mind. They're like, if you love somebody and you care about them, you want them to be happy, even
See,
if
that's-
it's not with you.
That's not cool. What that says is that the person is fearful and insecure that they're not going to find anyone else. But if you really care about the other person and you love the other person, you want them to be happy. And I think that's why our relationship was great for as long as it was, is because really my interest was making sure Ashley was happy, and that was my motivation. And I feel the opposite in return. So now that the relationship is at an end, I'm her biggest advocate.
And really, that's what you need in a relationship. It doesn't really matter what age they are.
Freedom.
Yeah.
You must
And
love in
acceptance
such a
and
way that the
support.
person you love
Love
feels
is
free.
allowing. Yeah.
Thich Nhat Hanh said that. You must love in such a way that the person you love feels free.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 So now, obviously, the relationship didn't end. It's changed
It
Correct.
has changed.
It's evolved.
into a more friends with benefits.
Just
That,
friends.
yeah, well, we did Friends of Benefits for a while, and now we feel like that's actually holding us back from
Moving
having
forward.
motivation, I call it. I mean, let's be real, if you're getting certain needs taken care of, do I go out, do I shower and shave and get all prettied up and go out and beat the trails or go fishing, whatever you want to call it? Or if you're getting certain needs met, as a man, I'm not so motivated. I think I'm just going to stay home and sit around in my underwear. So we just mutually decided that it's better for us to not have the friends with benefits, but instead be friends and be there for each other just as friends. And I think that's going to that's where we're at right now.
Very cool. Very interesting.
We allowed the relationship to evolve the way it was evolving. I think that sometimes towards the end of a relationship it's supposed to evolve into something else, and the two people don't allow it to evolve and don't allow it to change. That's when all the fighting and the
Yeah, we never really had any of the fighting.
no.
No, we had a really smooth relationship, which was huge for me. And if you saw some of the other videos that Corey and I did, where I had horrific relationships in the past that were verbally abusive, aggressive.
The one we did on toxic relationships.
Toxic relationships, holy cow. So to go from that and me getting a lot of work done, doing network care and similar types of body work and the SSRI, somatic respiratory integration, which creates so much more peace in your body, that I became so much more peaceful that I was attracting more of that in my life. And here we have a perfect example. Ashley and I had an amazing relationship. We were together for 2.5 years. It was an amazing relationship. There wasn't any fighting. There was none of that. and our relationship just naturally evolved into a place where it was great, and now it's time to do something different. I don't think that breaking up means you have to beat the other person down. That's not love. That's some kind of fear, insecurity, or emotional problems.
Without any attachments.
So to go from where I was years ago and to have healthy relationships now, let me tell you, man, you can have the car, you can have the house, you can have the jewelry, the watch. That stuff doesn't mean shit. When you have a relationship where you feel so good inside, and the other person, you bring out the best in them and they bring out the best in you, that's where the rubber meets the road. I mean, that's what I have value for. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. What else? Any other things that you can say you notice with younger guys and mistakes they make, especially for the younger guys watching this, that want to know, say they meet you, they want to go out, and then they see you with somebody like Dominick, and they're like, what the hell? What's he got that I don't?
I don't know if there's anything else, because the biggest things for me was feeling safe and supported and loved for just me. So if you got that in a relationship, like, the girl's not going to go anywhere, most likely. So.
And understanding their love.
Their love language.
Yeah. Once we got that figured out, she wasn't going anywhere.
It was very easy for him.
Yeah. That'd be the book, The 5 Love Languages. It's Gary Chapman, right? I think he wrote that. Maybe. It was only like 100 pages. It's a great book, especially for people that are in a relationship.
Yeah, and it was amazing to see. I mean, Ashley's an attractive woman, but it was amazing that even Ashley, when we first met, felt, if I could say, a little bit insecure and maybe didn't feel like she was that pretty at times. But when we figured out the love language, let me tell you, her posture changed, her mood changed, her confidence changed, and I mean, I couldn't get rid of her, to be honest with you. She loved it. Is that accurate? Like, she really enjoyed being around me. So the stuff
she pursuing you?
Let me tell you, the stuff that Corey teaches, man, that stuff works. And actually, Ashley,
right.
can I say that how much, like, you're a lot happier now than you were even when we first met?
I am a different person now than I was before I started dating you. Like, I've changed. Because I feel safer within myself, and I'm more myself.
Safety is like a basic need, but it's just your happiness and your, like, day to day, how happy you are, and, like, you're lighter, and it's been fun. Yeah. And it's really a privilege as a man to understand what a woman needs, because it actually makes me feel like more of a man and want to even show up better for her when I see how, when I show up as a man the way I'm supposed to, how much more she lights up and how much more feminine she is. I mean, that to me is like, what a great gift to be able to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you.
Right on. Mm-hmm. So we both grew from that immensely.
Yeah, these last 2 years were like 10 years of therapy for me.
No extra charge for that. I think I remember you telling me when they first started dating. I remember you saying something along the fact of, I didn't think he would be interested in me. I didn't think an older guy would be interested in me.
Oh, yeah. So
talk about that. That's important.
Well, I had met him. He did a talk at the gym that I worked out at and taught yoga at. And he was doing the talk on, it was Total Food Makeover, I think, talking about how great fat is. And I just remember...
diet.
Yeah, in your diet.
Not on your ass. In your diet.
Okay. But I remember seeing you and thinking, I want a guy like that. And I was like, because I think you told a story about your ex-wife. So I was like, oh, he's married and he has kids and he's like that. Like, that's what I want. And then
I said the nice things. Yeah.
No, I don't think you did. But
I did?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
it was, yeah.
I got to work on that.
It was an analogy you were using to make a point. But, yeah. But I remember seeing you and thinking, like, that's what I want. And then a few months later, I started working for you. And you still didn't like me.
Actually, I didn't like Ashley.
Yeah, he did not like me.
I thought she was a little cocky, a little arrogant.
Yeah, because during that talk, I went to the back and
She was hanging out in the back talking to some guy while I'm doing my presentation.
It's so rude.
And I was like, what the hell? Everybody's paying attention, but this one girl in the back, I guess she thinks she knows everything. That's what I made it mean.
I was hungry, so I went and got my food, and I was eating in the back. And yeah, and then my coach came and sat next to me and started talking to me. Yes, it was rude. We shouldn't have talked back there. But I liked him. And
But after we went to a yoga class, or I went to your yoga class, and
he was the
afterwards
only one that showed up.
we talked, and
He liked me.
Little one-on-one yoga. And
not at first.
It took him a few hours.
Little one-on-one
and-
yoga, and something popped up, and here we are, 2.5 years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember saying that to you, but I can see myself saying it.
Yeah, it was in the
Early
lobby
in
of
the
his
relationship.
office.
Yeah.
We were. I think your mom was there, behind the reception desk, because I think your receptionist had left or something. I just remember she's like, I didn't think a guy like that would be interested in me.
Yeah.
Something to that effect. I remember that. So it's like for you guys out there thinking, oh, well, a cute younger girl's not going to be interested in me because I'm older. Or, like, girls are insecure too. How
Yes.
insecure would you say women are that would surprise the average guy to know?
I mean, I think it depends on the woman, but I was definitely pretty insecure before we started dating.
So in some ways you didn't feel like you were good enough?
Yeah,
If
many
he really
ways.
gets to see me and know what I'm all about, he's
He's
going to
just
be like...
gonna- Yeah. But he didn't. He stayed, and he loved me.
He still does.
Exactly the way.
But in a
I
different
need to
way.
be loved. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It was cool because I've had several relationships like this that over the course of my life, and I've written about them in my book, and people were like, how can you have that kind of transition out of a relationship, go and have relationships with other people,
Mhm.
and then years later you're both single at the same time, get together, make love every now and then, but celebrate each other, be excited about their successes. Like one of my girlfriends that I saw in the past year, she got married, had kids with another guy, and I'm like, that's fucking awesome. I'm really happy for her that she got to go and do that and experience it because it was important to her. It's like when you care about somebody, you celebrate their victories, you celebrate their successes. You want them to be happy.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And you actually feel fulfilled, like you contributed in some way towards bringing another person up, and it actually brings you up. So yeah, it's we both learned a lot from each other, grew from each other, and it's raised my confidence quite a bit too, because now I realize that if I see someone who's a little younger, really good looking, hey man, this is I got it together. I'm not saying I got it all together. There's a lot I have to learn still, and the more I learn, the more I realize how far I have to go. But you got a lot more than a lot of men do. If you're watching this video and reading Corey's books and following his stuff, you got more game than a lot of people do, and you have more game to bring and more to bring to the table than you probably think. And well, what's your
Was
quote?
there was I think it was a Woody Allen quote. He said, 80% of success in life is just showing up.
Mm.
Yeah.
If you're just willing to roll a dice and take the risk and go for what you want.
80%'s a good number. 8 out of 10.
Because most people are talking themselves out of it. Oh, I gotta lose weight, I don't have enough money, I don't have the right education, I don't look good, my hair's not right, or there's always some little story that the average person is telling themselves, and if you can just take a little bit more action than the average person does, you're gonna be way ahead. Because most people are too timid and shy to go for what they want.
You just gotta ask. The worst
So-
thing they can say is no.
You said yes.
Yeah, I said yes.
It's good for me.
It was written all over her face, so obviously. You could tell she liked it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was where.
Like, what gave it away that you could tell that she was interested?
What gave it away? I would say when we were waiting to do the yoga class and no one else showed up, and we just started talking, and she was being friendly and I was being friendly back. You just kind of get a feel for it. If the person's interested in you, they're going to look at you, and they're looking for you to make eye contact back. They're giving you all these opportunities to say, hey, are you solid? Are you there as a man? And I just did all that stuff. I just looked at her when she talked to me, and I joked around. I kept it light. I kept it fun. And the more I opened up, the more she opened up, and it just rolled from there. And after a while, it's like, shit, is she interested in me? She sure is being friendly. She sure is cute. And I didn't like her initially, but let me tell you, she's a sweetheart. And the more we talked, right? And the more we talked, the more fun it got.
Maybe you're acting a little bit like your son acts when she comes over.
What I was?
What we were talking about earlier?
Oh, my son Nicholas?
How he starts punching you and stuff.
Oh
when
man,
she
he
comes
acts
over?
like a tough guy whenever she comes over. He wants to wrestle with me and punch with me like he's trying to be the alpha male.
So cute.
I'm like, you're 8, kid. Come on. It's not going to go anywhere.
And talk about little Michael and what Michael does.
Oh, my nephew Michael. Will you talk about Michael? Since you guys have a relationship, it
We
seems.
do. We have a relationship. Started the
He's
day
awesome.
I met him. Yeah, he comes up and he'll come and like run up to me and hug me, and I'll pick him up and hug him, and he'll say, "I love you." And he'll give me a little kiss on the cheek. He gives me about like 10 to 20 kisses on the cheeks.
Yeah, I got to
While
tell
I'm
him to
there.
back off a little bit.
Yeah, within like
When
2
they
hours,
walk-
I get like 10 or 20 kisses.
And when you guys are walking together, what does he do?
He like puts his arm around me.
His arm is
Like,
around her.
he
His
walks with
shoulder
me.
comes up to her waist, so it's
Yeah.
right above her
It's
butt,
cute.
like right on the waist, and he's just walking like this.
And anytime we meet someone,
And he loves it.
yeah, anytime we meet someone, he doesn't even say hi. He just says, "This is my girlfriend." So
It's pretty
that's
funny.
smooth.
yeah, no, it's
it's
Two
good.
different approaches.
Concerningly smooth.
Yeah, and 2 different approaches between Nicholas and Michael.
Yeah.
And Michael definitely gets more attention because he's just kind of like
He's just a smooth operator.
he's just right next to me, kissing me. So
There's a few feet between us. We're talking to people. I look over. Michael's in between us with his
Yeah.
arm around you. Hey, baby. And he's kissing you on the cheek. I'm like, what?
You might need to get Nicholas a copy of my book.
Yeah, I think Nicholas and I will have to have
Maybe
a
Like
sit
Michael
down.
seems like a natural. He's already got it all
oh
figured
yeah,
out.
Michael's
Yeah.
fine. He's got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Yeah.
obviously Dominick, you've heard me talk about him umpteen times. It's like Dominick completely changed my life, and it's like if you've read Mastering Yourself, my second book, which you can also read for free at understandrelationships.com by subscribing to the newsletter, I go in extensive detail how my life changed after Dominick. I mean, after a year and a half getting worked on by him, my life was completely different. Nothing looked the same. And obviously Ashley's very good, very intuitive, sensing things in your body, knowing where the tension is, and she's really gifted with what she does. So if people are interested in the work that you do, how do they get in touch with you? What's your website?
All of it's Ashley Ayurveda, and Ayurveda is Ayurveda. Ashley spelled the normal way.
Ashleyya, spell the last name?
Well, not my last name, but
So-
that's not my last name. Ayurveda is
Well, your web address.
okay.
right?
Yeah, Ayurveda. It's Ayurveda.
Ashley Ayurveda.
Might change it to my last name.
And then your Instagram is what?
Same thing, Ashley Ayurveda. At
At-
Ashley Ayurveda.
Cool. So go follow her on Instagram, go to her website, and then Dominick, how do people get in touch with you?
BeSimplyWell.com. It's spelled B-E, simplywell.com. And you can find out about the work that we do in our office, both the body awareness exercise, the somatic respiratory integration, and the type of body work that we do that turns off the stress response, cleans up the issues in your tissues, and helps you show up the way you were designed to show up as a man.
Cool. And if you'd like to book a coaching session with yours truly, you can go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session. Until next time, we will talk to you soon.
Bye-bye. Thank you.